Streaming. Let's hope this works. Alright, there we go. There we go. Alright, I think we're alright. I think we're good. Alright, today's stream is gonna be a little bit different. Normally I'd play something like Minecraft and work on continuing that, but since I'm feeling a little bit dismotivated today, I decided to do a quick overview of the Lake Project update, because a couple people were asking about that in the comments of the stream I did on the day it updated. Update has not been out for very long, and I'm just launching a VIP server quick, because wait for it to load up a little bit. There are a couple new features, and I'm going to cover over a small set of things because I feel like it'd be a good idea. Alright, there we go. So, the update has new game rules. Most of them are the same as last time, actually. I shouldn't say new. Some things have been updated, because a couple people were finding loopholes in certain things. Also, the rogue's den rule has changed, so now if there's a moss bed in a den, then it is not a fox/badger den, it is actually a rogue den, and you can use it. All morphs and everything have been remade. I will start as a kit. You can use Q and E to turn your screen, or the arrows. Seems they're not working, that's odd. There are two eye shapes, feminine and masculine. These obviously don't have to be the same as your gender. You can set whichever one you find better or more appealing. New colors. Some colors are similar to the older ones, but a lot of them are new. Yellow is now less gold and much more soft. As you can see, there are all sorts of things you can color, including the jaw tip and the jaw, the ear tips, and the ears themselves. So there's way more customization. For time's sake, I think I'll just be coloring in the ear tips. Leave it as a pretty generic tuxedo cat. Torso also has other parts you can color. Tail parts as well. Accessories. Now normally a warrior morph would have the ability to equip a leader star. But since I have chosen the kit morph for the ability to share off another feature, it does not appear. Like, really, Lost and Adam really put a lot of thought into this, and it's amazing. There's the collar, which is colorable with much better colors, I think. And I'll put this on to also demonstrate another cool safeguard that they talked about. There are all sorts of fur and stuff. Different tail types. Ear fur, chest fur, stomach fur. There are small scars. I believe more scars, more accessories, more markings will be added in the future. Now you see, it's a rule that basically clan cats are not allowed to wear collars. So, Lost decided to make it easier on the staff and basically put up a safeguard, so if you try to join a clan with a collar on, it'll disappear. Let's just put in a generic name, or that works. And let's see, let's say I want to join River Clan, but I have a collar. Poof, it's gone. And I believe I've got to re-equip it. So we'll join Two Leg Place. The collars have a jingling noise when you move. Oh, I got stuck in the floor. That is why teleport exists. Teleports will teleport you outside of different areas. For example, let's say I want to teleport to the moon pole. Now you might be thinking, where is it? I don't see it. Well, it's because you gotta go down the path a little bit further. It's kind of, you teleport quite far away from it, but if you keep on the path, you'll be able to find it. Now I want to show the age up feature and some other small things before we'll get to the camps and the rest of the map. So age up allows you to change size very easily. And in order to age up once more into a warrior, I have to close it and open it again. You're also able to equip accessories from a small menu here. You can equip and unequip things, and it's very useful. Now I'm going to show a quick thing. If I decide to... So I've got a collar on. If I try and join Shadow Clan... Oh, excellent. The collar will disappear. This helps prevent random kitty pets joining clans and then having a collar still on. And it also helps prevent a lot of other small rule breaks. There are new emotes. Just closing your eyes is the only one at the moment, but in the future I believe there will be more. There are actions, which can actually be activated by pressing R repeatedly. So if I'll close actions, I can press R and do that, and I'll press T and I'll get up again. It's kind of similar to Wings of Fire. I think the next important thing would be covering the camps and things. The new map is really pretty and just all around astonishing. Like seriously, it's amazing. Now if you're careful enough to look and investigate certain bushes, I believe right around outside the Elder's Den, there's a tunnel that'll lead out of Thunder Clan camp. I think some of the other clans have this. I'm not sure if all of them do. I believe that 3 of them, at least. I've found 3 of the tunnels at least. There's all sorts of things, and you can enable den view, or press E, and you'll be able to actually see what these dens are for. There's a lot of detail put into this, and it's just beautiful here, but it just leads around back into camp. It helps you get up on the ledge. Yeah. And the Elder's Dens, nursery, and everything else have very special details to them. Warriors' dens are perfectly normal. Leaders' dens have the star as per usual. Elders' dens have flowers. I believe the nursery has tufts of fur and other moss bits. And the apprentice den should have like bones and other things in it. Bones and sticks. I don't believe the medicine den actually has any sort of special thing to it. Let's go on to the next camp. River Clan is a little River Clan camp is a little bit more closed off, just very slightly, than it used to be. There's a small tree above the prey pile, which I don't believe used to be there. The nursery now has much more shade covering it, and this little cave is a bit bigger. The leader's den is also in a slightly different spot. Instead of being within the rock, it's along the side with a log covered in moss above it. And there are the other dens as well. I'll press E so you can get a good view of them. Most things are just in their normal spots because obviously it's mimicking the books. And let's go to Shadow Clan next. I don't believe I've not found a River Clan tunnel yet, which makes sense, but this is the Shadow Clan area. It's a bit hard to find the entrance, but you just gotta look for the kind of path almost going out. Most things are pretty much the same, except you gotta be careful not to get stuck in there. It is possible to hop out, but it can be a bit tricky depending on your morph. most things are the same, just better looking and more unique models, less boxy. Now I believe that the small secret tunnel area in Shadow Clan Camp is somewhere above the medicine den, or at least what that's how my brain's been remembering it. What is around here? It might take me a second. Oh yeah, it's gotta be this, right? Yeah. You can kind of worm out of camp in and out like that. It's almost night, and that night is also really good. Has a really special feature tied to it. Well, a couple of special features. Let's go to Wind Clan next. I believe Wind Clan, I can't remember if they have a tunnel or not. I don't remember. Now let's enable night vision. And there's also scent vision that is also useful during night, because it makes you into kind of a glowing ball and you'll be able to see other people. I'm going to disable it for now, but night vision is very useful. And because it gets very, very dark out at night. Another thing associated with night that is a feature of night are moon phases. Each night the moon will have a different phase. I believe there's a total of 8. And one of those 8 is a full moon, meaning it will be gathering time. Let's move back to Wind Clan Camp. Most things are pretty much the same. The medicine den feels smaller, and I believe some of the dens are deeper in the ground. I think there is a hidden tunnel around here too, but I could be mistaken. It might be in River Clan, and I might be mixing things up. There are a lot of Easter eggs, and I personally love finding Easter eggs. However, it's a bit tricky when there are big maps and things are a bit cluttered. But it's a wild place overgrown with plants and such, so it makes sense that it's cluttered. Pretty normal camp here, prey pile and everything. The entrance is kind of these 2 pointy rocks. There are some details about certain camp's territories. For example, Wind Clan has rabbit holes all around. I believe there's only a few, but kits can squeeze into some of them. You just gotta be careful not to get stuck. As you can see, there are just some rabbits resting in the small rabbit hole. Let's see, we'll also cover the barn. Barn is pretty plain except for the barn itself. There are horses inside, and then you are able to go up the stairs. There's also a hidden golden horseshoe back here. And if you go upstairs, you can actually just sleep in piles of hay. It's possible to get behind where the horses are. Takes a well-timed jump. And I believe you can actually squeeze out these back bars too. Yep. So there are a couple ways. And of course, we've got the traditional way to get onto the barn roof. For every time there's a flood, but for some reason it only reaches as high as the barn roof. It's pretty normal. There are also chickens and a horse trough. I think I pronounced that right. I'm not good with certain words. You can run out back through here, and there's a small open plains area with a pond. And that kind of leads into River Clan territory. So, pretty normal. I'm gonna go over to the spot where gatherings happen. I forget the specific name. So we'll run along here. And we head into here, and it's the main pieces of tree. There's a small rocky den area over there. And a couple of other things, and it's pretty usual. I believe they did update it from there being a rocky ledge to a tree to be more recent of the books. Although, I'll let you know a secret, I have not read many of the recent books, so I'm a bit blurry on that. while it's night, I think a good thing to be investigating would be Two-Leg Place in the moon pool. Two-Leg Place is bright enough that you don't really need night vision. There are beds, a TV, and other things. Eventually there will be some ambience around, so it will be less just empty feeling. That's one of the things that wasn't included with the big update is the ambience, which will be added eventually. There's a small Easter egg here for Maximus, who is Lost's former cat. It's a bit sad, but it's really sweet when you think about it. It is also possible to actually get inside these little hole areas if you manage to jump up certain areas, because some areas are a little bit tricky, like this one's a bit difficult. I don't know if I can make this one. I know it is possible to sit inside these, though. Did I get stuck? Okay, there we go. There are also other certain things, like an open drawer, which I think is a cute little touch, seeing as cats are always lying in laundry and such. This door is nothing under it, and there's no way to really get in either. The art on this bag actually came from a contest in the Lost Studios Discord server, and this was the winner for the cat food bags. But there was like a runner-up that everybody really enjoyed, called Caboodle. Oh, is it gone? Or is the texture not loaded in? That's a bummer. Well, the box up there used to be labeled Caboodle, because it was quite a popular entry and everybody thought it was really cute. Now, let's teleport to the moon pool, because I think most of the series covered. We'll enable night vision. And if you go along this path, there's something that a lot of people don't notice right away. And it's that if you go to the moon pool, you can actually click the star and teleport into StarClan in the Dark Forest. The Dark Forest is much more kind of hidden away because it's in this kind of cave-like area. It's really creepy, easy to get lost in, and sadly the ambience was removed temporarily, I believe. I don't know if it'll come back. It probably will, because Adam was super proud of it, and I think a lot of people really enjoyed it. The ambience used to be whispers, kind of quiet cat meows, and this heartbeat noise that would play in certain areas. The trick of the Dark Forest in this is that it's one big loop, so it's easy to get turned around and lost in. There's a small branch here, and Dark Forest cats are up on that ledge. They do have bodies, unlike the ones in the menu. They're just difficult to see during night, but they do have bodies. There are some disembodied eyes that are floating about, but those are just, you can't really do much with them, and they're more hidden away. I believe we continue up ahead. Just keep heading forward. There are the reverse blood waterfalls. Difficult to see them, especially at night. Oh, there's some disembodied eyes I was talking about. I'll close this. But the reverse blood waterfalls are just waterfalls of blood that flow upward toward the ceiling. They don't quite go anywhere and don't do anything, but they are certainly creepy. Oh my gosh, I'm going the wrong direction. It's easy to get lost in this place. It's pretty easy to tell after going like 1 or 2 rounds around this area that it is a loop. But it is very easy to get turned around. Yep, I just proved my point. Just keep going. I'm gonna just keep going forward. And hope I am heading in the right direction. Because, oh boy, is it extremely easy to get lost. And that should lead you back around to near the entrance. I think I went the wrong direction or went around too many times, but this should be right? This just shows how easy it is to get lost. Alright, I might just teleport back. Oh, is that it? Is that it? Okay, there we go. We got out. It is a big loop and it is easy to get turned around in, and that just proves my point. So this area heads up into StarClan though. It's a bit smaller than the Dark Forest, much less confusing. There are a couple of StarClan cats lingering around, and the sky is kind of covered in these stars and a lot of sparkly and glowiness all about. It is really pretty and kind of fun to explore. Also, who doesn't like glowing mushrooms? Glowing mushrooms are cool. So I think this kind of covers the area around here. I want to start getting to... I want to go to Wind Clan, because the tunnels do exist. I think we should wait for sunrise, though. Oh, maybe not. The moon's kind of far up. At the moment, I will head over to the docks. The docks are pretty normal, very similar to last time, just a bit more rocky. There are a couple other areas that would be useful for roleplay, like a cliff that is hanging over spiked rocks. There's a small rocky beach that's very pretty during the day. And the night too. It's just extra pretty during the day. Should be along the shoreline. I believe it's kind of near River Clan territory. Could be wrong though. I myself am not very adjusted to the new map because when things released I kind of just vibed in ThunderClan for a while. Whenever I'm not sure what to do with an OC, I always just join ThunderClan because it's so generic that it fits any OC. Continue along the shore. Ah, here it is. Yeah, I knew it was around River Clan territory. A small rocky beach covered in lots of smooth stones. The boathouse should also be across there. Oh, this is the river. Many rivers actually now have rocks across them, so you can actually parkour across. Boathouse. We should be coming up on the boathouse soon. Yeah, there's the second docks and the boathouse, which you can no longer get inside, but all that is inside is a couple of crates blocking the door. It might take me a second to squeeze my camera in. Well, I think you'll just have to take my word because I don't want to spend too long trying to wiggle my camera into there. There's a third docks around here. I believe there's also a couple big features I wanted to cover. For example, the fireplace. The fireplace actually only lights up at night, and it's really useful. It's just good at, like, by useful I mean it makes a really good landmark, so when you're lost you can just come back around and, like, scroll up, you see, oh, there's the glowing fireplace. It also has really pretty lighting when you have night vision turned on. Nice contrasting colors, and they look quite pretty. If I continue along, the abandoned two-leg place is up ahead. This little abandoned house area is pretty generic, but you're able to hop through the broken windows, and if you go in the floorboards, there's a rogue den. So if you're a rogue and want to settle somewhere near ThunderClan, because that's where everybody is, you can find this little area and settle down. There's a massive hole in the roof, right up there, and it gets quite lovely during the day. It's very pretty and gives you very strange vibes. Now that it's day, I'm going to disable night vision, and we can continue along. continue on here. Up ahead there should be those little stepping stones that I was referring to where you can actually leap across the river without having to walk directly in it. They are very useful. I'm going to cross into Windclan territory and then show off the tunnels. Or at least explore them a little bit. I don't know them very well, honestly. I get very lost. I gotta find one of the entrances. I believe there's one entrance around this side. There's an entrance in the lake, and then there's an entrance in ThunderClan territory. But they're very windy and twisty, and I believe there's one Easter egg that I'm able to find in it. Originally, I actually found it by, like, shoving myself into the ground using fly, and then... yeah. Let's see, it should be somewhere around here. Okay, come on, brain. Don't feel me out. There it is. The tunnels are not too horribly dark with lighting on, with daylight lighting on, but they are very windy, easy to get lost in. Okay, this is not the area. There are cobwebs all about the place. Tunnels that lead in different directions all about. A lot of things loop together in kind of this winding fashion. It's not as confusing as the Dark Forest. It's not confusing like the Dark Forest. Instead, it's confusing because it's an odd maze. I believe this is the area. Yeah. You can locate the stick, but it requires you to go through one of these little void areas in the big room. It should be by a cobweb, a rock, and this kind of large pillar of stone. We'll continue past here. I believe there's a tunnel that leads into ThunderClan territory. This might be the one that leads to the lake. It's flooded. There are plenty of rooms and areas around it. But please do not settle in the tunnels. That is against the rules. And it's such a pain having to try and explain certain things to people. Yeah, this one, I believe... Oh, no, I'm thinking of the wrong tunnel. But there should be one that leads out into the lake, I believe. But it's not very obvious. This might be it. You see, I'm not very good at memorizing tunnels and the music. Oh, this is the one that's in the ThunderClan. Yeah. No, I think most of the map I've got kind of covered. A lot of areas I covered, and although I may not have covered them in a day, I didn't. It's pretty easy to tell what they're like with night vision on. I'm going to show off some of the other morphs. Or at least cover them. I keep saying show off. I did not make this, to be clear. I don't want anybody thinking that. And I don't want it to be rude to Lost and Adam. We gotta wait for it to load, because every time you reset, it'll take a while for the lobby to load. This game is very heavy, and hence why people ask me to like cover over some of the update things better than I did in my other one. Is it loaded? Okay, there we go. We'll accept both these. And let's see, Spectator. Spectators are meant to be fireflies, though I see so many people calling them eyeballs or something else. I'm like, oh, come on. They look like fireflies to me. Though they may not hover, they are very much fireflies. A Firefly Morph is actually just an invisible kit with a glowing orb above its head. If I do, you can actually see this, because the command visible me just makes all of your transparent, 100% transparent parts of your avatar become visible again. This also shows that our avatars are actually not just welded to the thing, that these are kind of, it changes your avatar into this instead of it being a part of your avatar like the old morphs. Alright, I'm going to reset because doing visible me turns you into kind of this weird monstrosity. And we will wait for it to load up again. The best thing is to be patient when waiting for it to load. Do not try and brute force your way past the menu. It's best to just be patient, wait for everything to load in, and for your mouse to not be frozen, or for you to actually be able to scroll. It may take a minute, but patience is often key here. I'll show off the Albino Mars next, because they're closer to other cats than magical ghost cats anyways. The Albino Mars still have the generic pink, purple, and blue eye color. I'm always one to favor pink because I think it looks more accurate. You can put on any sort of anything like any other cat can, like any accessories work, any fluff works, but there are no markings because albino cats are unable to actually have markings of any sort. You can join any clan like usual, and overall it's just a cat but much brighter white and a little bit stranger looking. You can age up like any other cat, equip accessories like any other cat. Overall, they remain pretty much the same. I'm going to reset and cover the spirit morphs now. I think I'll start with whichever one's on the left and then move on to whichever one is on the right. Is my mic working? Okay, but it was just a quick checkup. Alright, I'm going to move on to the next part. I try not to interrupt what I'm doing too much because I'm going to leave this video as a generic video and I want it to feel like a video instead of a stream. Hence why I won't be checking any sort of anything during the stream often. Alright, there we go. Dark Forest Apprentice is an apprentice, but pitch black and kind of a void. No light can actually be seen on this because it's neon material but set to pitch black. You can change your eye color, and like StarClan's eyes, it'll only really change these thick pupil areas. You can add any sort of fur if you want to change kind of the shape and figure of this silhouette. I'll just leave it at this. You have the option to join the Dark Forest or StarClan. And when you spawn in, you will spawn on the area according to your team. Dark Forest cats will also leave a very thick trail of smoke, similar to their scent. I believe they have a scent, unless that was removed. It seems the whole scent thing was removed. Which makes sense because they're ghost cats. As a Dark Forest Apprentice, you are able to age up. This might be a bug, but I am not quite sure. I'm going to reset again, and then show off the StarClan morphs. Wait for it to load up. It's always very important to be patient with the game loading in. I believe a lot of it is because it's still quite new, but also every time you reset, it takes a minute to load in the lobby. And the lobby's a bit complex. I think my theory is that farther you are from the lobby when you reset, the longer it'll take, because it's unloaded, really. Let's move on to StarClan. StarClan cats look very milky and a bit odd at first, but when you actually leave StarClan or the shadows, they tend to make more sense. So we'll teleport to StarClan, and you can see they leave behind a small trail of stars, and they do have a scent, it looks like, unlike the Dark Forest cats. They are able to age up like the Dark Forest apprentices as well. Still not sure if this is intentional or not. But as you can see, they look pretty plain. They don't look like ghosts much. They just kind of look like a cat. Now, if you do teleport to any of the main areas, you'll notice in the shadows you are very dark, similar to a Dark Forest cat. But once you start to leave the shadows into the light, you'll notice you actually fade and change into the color of the sky. StarClan cats will always match whatever color or what the sky looks like. So, since it's daylight, I'll be looking like the day sky, but if I go out during night, then I will look like the night sky. I'll be able to demonstrate this in a second once it does become night. It's actually quite interesting. It isn't really based on shadows. I believe it's based on whether there's something above you. So if you're here, let's say, and the farther I go underneath the tree, the darker I'll become. It's like the reflection turns up once you aren't under something. It's very odd and cool, though, because you can actually see the transition in the fade. Like, you can watch as it slowly fades into pitch black. I don't believe this is a natural Roblox lighting thing. I think this is something that was scripted. I don't know that much about Roblox scripting, though, so I could be wrong, and this could just be a feature that Roblox has for reflective objects. Though I doubt they would do that. Now we'll wait for it to become night, and you'll be able to actually watch the material of the cat change. Basically, it'll look... The reflective surfaces just takes the sky's texture and plasters it on the thing, so once it becomes night, I'll have the night sky texture instead of the daylight texture. I'll enable night vision so you'll be able to see the StarClan cat a bit better. As you can see, it's starting to get dim, and you can sort of see the stars if you look closely. But I think a lot of times stars get ignored when it comes to that. As you can see, it matches the tone of the sky and the lighting of the sky. Once the stars become more visible, and I wonder if stars are actually counted as a part of, like, the moon won't be reflected in it, I don't believe, because that's just not how Roblox celestial bodies work. But I'm unsure about the stars. You do kind of look starry because the edges of the parts that are on you do reflect the sky in a specific way, like they'll reflect your night vision or any light that's hitting them. So you kind of sparkle. Now there is some small things I do want to show as well. That I believe I can... Well, perhaps I shouldn't, but I'm just debating things. Let's wait for it to load up and then I'll decide. quietly wait for things to load in all the way. Okay, there we go. Well, I believe I'll just stick with spectator because spectators emit a specific light. And actually, I think I've decided against showing things like the lobby off because that can be seen during the morph thing already. And I believe this is it for now. Thank you to those who popped in and watched, even if just for a few seconds. I really appreciate it. And I shall end the stream right about here.